So trying this video again. This is day 1 of our HTML coding. So you've watched the HTML Ed puzzle, and now we're going to put that into practice. When we want to start a new project in our coding unit and we want to start a new web page, from our code.org account, from our dashboard, you're going to see your teal toolbar at the top of your screen. On that teal toolbar, you have this, you should have a button called projects. I'm going to zoom out. There we go. Projects right here. You're going to go ahead and click on projects. From the project screen, normally you have a bunch of projects down here that are saved, but you don't have any right now because we haven't began any. To start a brand new website, you're going to come to view full list of projects. You're going to scroll down till you get to Web Lab, and then you're going to click on Web Lab. Okay. When Web Lab opens up, you're going to see some things on your screen. You're going to see this code in the middle of your screen, and I'm going to discuss the different parts of our screen. So up at the very top of your screen is the teal toolbar. That's how I refer to it, as the teal toolbar. We're going to go ahead right now on the teal toolbar and rename our project. So go ahead and click rename. And you're going to call this project your last name, dash, which is next to your 0, about me, and then a dash again, and the period you're in. I'm just going to double my 8s because I've already made one for period 8. So I'm just putting 8 because I already have one that is saved as 8. Yours should be your last name, dash about me, dash either a 7 if you're in 7th period, and 8 if you're in 8th period, and click save on your teal toolbar. Now your project will be saved and you can find it the next time in that list of projects. On the left hand of my screen is my files panel. I have 2 files going right now. I have the index.html, which is my HTML code from the content and the words of my site. And I have the styles section, style.css, which is for the fanciness of my website. Across the top, underneath the teal toolbar, is the black toolbar. This is how I add images, how I save and refresh my website. The center panel is my code. This is the text editor where I'll be typing. And then the right-hand side is my website. The very first line of the code they give me right here, line 1, is called doctype HTML. It is the only capital letters that you will see in coding because this is basically screaming at your computer, hey, I'm typing in HTML code. None of the other code that comes between what we call tags, you might be familiar with them from math class as greater than and less than, but those are called tags in HTML coding. None of the language that is in the tags is capitalized, as you can see. The only words that get capitalized inside of those tags is doctype on line 1. If you notice, if I click on line 2, line 9 also highlights. If I click on line 3, 5 also highlights. And if I click on 6, 8 highlights. You can see that these are matching pairs. The only difference being is that the second version has a backslash that is down underneath your question mark of your keyboard. That key is pressed before you type the word. That symbolizes that this is the close form of the tag. So we have open body and we have close body. We have open HTML on 2, close HTML on 9, open head on 3, close head on 5. As you can see, everybody has a pair, and that's how your code works. If I get rid of somebody's match like this, you can see a red error is thrown. If at any point during your coding I say you should have no red errors, that your screen should all be blue, and you have a red error at that point when I said there should be none, make sure you let me know right away. It is much easier for me to fix your problem in the moment than 12 steps or even 3 steps down the road. So make sure if you have red on your screen and I have said there should be no red, that you raise your hand and ask right away. Very important, so that everybody can be doing the right thing. So what we're going to go ahead and do to start out is we're going to go ahead and enter between the open body and the closed body. This is just reminding myself that I'm not going to be typing any code up here, and I'm not going to be typing any code down here. All of my code is going to go between these body tags. We're going to go ahead and start on line 7. I'm going to open. So when I say make an open tag, it's the open version of the header tag. Header is a container tag. So if you think about any kind of plastic container that you put like your sandwich in for lunch, all it does is hold your sandwich. So a container tag doesn't make anything happen on your website. It's just going to hold other tags. And because it holds stuff, its close is not on the same line as the open. So that's kind of like body. Body is holding all of our other tags, okay? Or head holds this other tag. It's a container, okay? So we've typed an open container tag. I've hit enter to go to line 8. There should be pink right now because there is an open tag that has no body, okay? So that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and type my first content tag, which is the H1. This stands for main heading. It's like the title or the name of my site. You're going to go ahead and type your name. And then you're going to type the closed version on the same line, no spaces there. Okay. Same line. Hit save and refresh in your corner, and your name should appear on your website. Okay. And then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, because that's that line of code. Notice the H1 open and close are on the same line because that's not a container. That is a single line tag. Okay, and then I'm going to close the container of the header with the closed version of that tag. Okay, at that point, I should have all tags blue because I've closed everything and there's nothing left open. So if you were to have pink right now, that would be a problem. Okay, line 10. I'm going to open another container called the div. Okay. We want to put an image on our site. So we're going to go to the CREA-TECH website. You can go right there from quick links. Scroll down past the agendas, down to the bottom where all the websites are. You should have a website called Avatar Maker. You're going to go ahead and make your avatar to resemble yourself. Okay. Do it really quickly. Miss Watts isn't even going to mess with hers because she just wants to get it done. You can pause the video. Okay. I'm just going to do one and yep. Okay. And then when you get it finished, okay, you're going to go ahead. I was just curious what that does. No, that's not good. Okay. You're going to go ahead and you're going to download it right here. Okay. And you're going to download the 400 by 400 version of it. Okay. So go ahead and click download, 400 by 400. It's downloaded to my computer. Come back to my code right here on line 11. I'm going to come to add image. Okay. We're going to upload the file. In your Chromebook, you should have recent over here. I'm in downloads because I'm on a laptop. But from your recent files, open up your avatar. Okay. And it should appear. And you're going to go ahead and X out once it's there. Okay. We're going to rename that file. Okay. So you should all have an avatar file. We're going to click on the little drop down arrow beside its name, rename. Okay. Notice, very important, when I click rename, it highlights most of the file name. It does not include the extension part, which is the .png. You do not want to delete the .png. That's how your computer knows the file. So don't mess with that. We're going to call it selfie. So everyone should now have a version of this called selfie.png. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and now click on it. Okay. Scrolling down below the colors in the image, there's two boxes, HTML and CSS. We're going to go ahead and highlight the HTML code, copy it, and we're going to paste it into the index, paste, okay, and hit save and refresh. It should appear. Important part to look at. All of our tags have been dark blue. Same thing with the image tag. The tag is IMG for image, but this tag has other pieces that are important to learn. It has the green attribute. This is called an attribute. It's called SRC. That stands for source. Okay, it's telling our computer the source of this image is right over here, selfie.png. Gives it its file name. It also has a second attribute called alt. This is an important one for visually impaired people or if your website's not working. Okay, if I were to have my website not working, the words image description, whatever is between these quotation marks, appears on my screen. So it would tell somebody, even if the picture doesn't work and doesn't show up, what is on the screen and what you're supposed to see. Same thing if I were blind. It would read to me what should be being seen on the website. We're going to type in between those quotations, don't delete the quotations, selfie of, and your name, because that's what we're describing the image as, that it's a selfie of you. Okay. And then that way, if the code breaks, now you can see selfie of Katie Watts appears, and that's what the screen reader would read to a blind person. Okay. That is the alt. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and make the close div. Okay. And then that should be enough to make our website all blue, okay? It should be all blue at this point because we have everything closed. We're going to hit save and refresh a final time to make sure everything's saved. So things we have learned today is we've named our file, okay? We've added and renamed an image, okay? We've coded 2 containers, header and div. And we've coded 2 single line tags, the H1 and the image. Okay, we have added those 2, and your website should look like this currently. If you have any questions about what we did, feel free to ask, but you can hit save and refresh a final time, and that is the end of this day.